You may recall that some time ago, we looked at various cameras on board locos and coaches. And then we looked at how to modify the video so you got the effect of being in the cab itself, or in the coach's case, being a passenger looking out the side window. And today's talking about the technique that got us there. Let's just look at the raw footage first, very short snippet, and then the effect of adding in the graphics. Here's the raw footage. And here's the effect once we've added in the graphics. Well, I think they'll agree that the second video was an improvement. So essentially, we've got two elements here. We've got the video source and then the graphics overlay that's going to go on top. And we're using that for the cab view, but we can also use it for the coach view. And there's an example of it, and you'll see it later in Keith's section. So the starting point, assuming we already have the video, is to modify the graphics. You find an image like this one behind me of a coach. It's already got a view out the window of a snow scene. We don't want that. We want to see through those windows at our content. So we want to be able to do something like that that takes away the existing content on that part of the image and makes it transparent so we can see right through to the video itself. So where do we get this image to use as the overlay? Well, you can download them from the internet. You could even take pictures yourself on your camera. But most of those images you're going to download or take yourself will be saved in what's known as the JPEG format, probably the most common format for photographic images. And unfortunately, they're not suitable for use without modification. As you probably know, there are many different file formats for graphic images, but the most common being the JPEG and also the GIF, the GIF, the GIF file. So let's take a quick look at these two because they're important to us. The JPEG, Joint Photographic Experts Group, works on the basis of mixing three colors, as you'll see above me, known as the RGB model. And it depends how much red, how much green, how much blue, and their intensities in the mix that determines what color your eye sees. So the image on my left, looking at that woman's scarf, shows you there that the amounts are 220 red, 87 green, 134 blue. And that's a mix. They'll produce that kind of salmon color. So in total, you're allowed up to 256 different values for R, G, and B. So you can see in that calculation, 256 times 256 times 256 gives you a 16.7 million colors that we're used to talking about. And the image is quite detailed, as you'll see there. Unfortunately, we can't use it for the overlay, but we can use GIFs. Now, GIFs use a different method. They don't have 16.7 million colors. They've got 256. Not necessarily the same 256, but any one image will have a maximum of 256 different colors in that image, no more. That table is called a CLUT, a color lookup table. And you'll see it in the image, although it tells you the mix of R, G, and B, it tells you the index number. So it's 145 in that table will be the salmon color. Clearly, if you're going to reduce a JPEG to a GIF, you're going to reduce from 16.7 million varieties of color to only 256. And that affects the quality. And here we see the same image side by side. On the left, the JPEG, on the right, the GIF. If you look at the area of the face here, you'll see it greatly pixelated compared to here, behind the ear, the scarf all pixelated, the hair clasp, and so on. The trees outside become all blocky. Clearly, we pay a price for having a transparent image. Not so much a problem in our example because people will be watching the video through the cab window or the coach window and looking at the movement and won't see the slight loss of image quality. Let's investigate a bit further. So I use Paint Shop Pro. It's not cheap, but it's quite powerful. GIMP is available. Also a very good graphics package. Free. You can download it from there. So let's use these to have a closer look at JPEGs and GIFs. So let's look at comparing JPEGs and GIFs. Let me just pull in a JPEG. Huge amount of different colors. Gives great detail in the sea, in the waves, the sky, and so on. But no good for what we need to do. We need, as I said, a GIF file to allow us to have transparency. So if I want to convert this to a GIF, the first thing I have to do is decrease the color depth to 256. So we get the color lookup table. And now it will approximate to the same colors. Has to interpolate, get to the nearest color. And that's the GIF version. Let's now save that as a GIF. Saved. If I now pull in for comparison the original version and look at the sky here in JPEG compared to GIF, the texture of the sea, the rocks, we've lost a lot of detail because we've cut down the 16 million colors to only 256. So this image is made up only of these 256 possible colors. So if we convert to JPEG to GIF, if one of the colors in the JPEG isn't in that table, it goes to the nearest color. And that's why we lose detail and texture in the conversion. Before we look at overlaying a graphic on a video clip, let's for a minute look at overlaying a graphic on another graphic. One of the members recently was looking to make a backdrop with a GIF of the sky and wanted to have a factory as an overlay before they printed out the back scene. And that both images were GIFs, and that can cause some problems, as I'll show you now. Here we are back in the graphics editing package. And we'll pull in an image, a GIF image of the sky. And we'll pull in another image of some kind of warehouse or factory. Notice the colors: bright red brickwork, bright orange for the bridge, and bright greens for the grass. So I'm now going to copy that, go back to the sky, and paste it in as an additional selection. And look what's happened. The bright red kind of turned almost purple. The orange for the bridge, grey. Bright green for the trees and the box, dull green. And that's because this image had to fit in with this palette, which is mostly all greys. And it had to reduce this to the nearest colour it could find in the palette. But all is not lost. Let's go back a step. If we can convert this from a GIF back to a 16-bit image, and then I paste in the warehouse, it's kept all the colors. So I was quite happy because the JPEG has got infinite 16.7 million colors, so it can accommodate this GIF quite happily. So you may have problems putting an 8-bit on top of an 8-bit, but you don't have a problem putting an 8-bit onto a JPEG. The important thing for us about the GIF image is that the lookup table of 256 entries allows you to set any one of those entries to be transparent, not of a color, but to be see-through. How do we do that? Well, we'll do it in a moment in both PaintShop Pro and in GIMP. What we want to do is take an image similar to this, take away what we see through the window, like that, so the view is transparent And we'll now show our own video in that background. Or, as you saw in the earlier diesel cab view, this one. Right, let's have a look at how we do it with the software now. Okay, so this is Paint Shop Pro. And we want to make a part of an image transparent. So let's pull in an image, drag and drop, and we'll make this window transparent. Trouble is, one I've brought in is a JPEG, and you can't make a transparency in a JPEG. So the first thing I have to do is decrease the color depth to 256. And then we will save that file as this file. Now I can go to here and choose the freehand selection. And I'll just do it quickly, just so you get the idea. There, 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 there. I've got this piece now. I can delete. And what I want to do now is to go up to where it says Image, Palette, set the palette transparency and make it that same green color. And if I go back again to the palette, I can check, look at this, and that confirms that that piece is now transparent. I could do the same again with the next window. Again, I'm only doing it quickly here. Take it out. Take it out, and so on. And if I save that file, I can now use that. In those particular windows, you'll see the image behind it if you superimpose it onto another image. Now that we have the transparent image, let's see it in use. So firstly, I'll pull in a general scene. And then I'll pull in the one we just made a transparency on, this test file. So we'll go up here and we'll copy the image, go back to the main scene, and then we'll paste this in. And we can drop it anywhere you want. As you can see, if I drop it there, the two windows here we haven't made transparent, so you can't see through them. The ones we have made transparent, available. This is the GIMP software. Let's see what we can do with this one. I'll bring in an image, pick free select, and I'll just do it very roughly again, just round to give you the idea. Right, and the layers transparency has got an alpha channel, that's fine. I can just press delete, and that area is now transparent, and we can simply save the file with whatever name we want. Now that we have an image such as this with a transparent area for the window, we can now think about merging that with our video clip. We're going to overlay the graphics on top of the video, which I'll see in a moment. The most common format for saving videos, although again there's a range of video formats, MP4 is the most common in use. I've shown 3 different editors you can use. There's a Windows video editor, or an early version of Windows that's called Movie Maker, OpenShot, and Premiere Pro. This shows the Premiere Pro. You'll see there in blue, the top bar is the video content. The bottom 2 bars that have got all the wiggles, that's the audio you're seeing for a stereo track. And then the pink blob is where we superimpose the graphic at that point. So you can see the results in the editor window. We've now got a scene outside that we can see through the transparent windows on the image. That's using Adobe Premiere Pro, which is an expensive package. There's the Windows own video editor. You can reach it easily, as you can see there. Not the greatest. It does allow you to add your own background music and some effects. But the most useful one, I would think, for our purposes, which is free, is OpenShot. OpenShot, again, you can see multiple tracks and you can pull down various videos to edit. And above me, you'll see the Doonfoot Model Railway video, which is compiled from tracks provided by Keith that I put together, made a video using OpenShot. So that's the principle of it. So from now on, it's over to Keith to talk about how we did it in his particular case.
This is the view that you'll see on opening OpenShot Video Editor. And we're just going to make a very short video to try and recreate a short section of the video that we've just seen. At the top left-hand corner, you'll see File, which I'll click upon. I want to import files that I've already created. I've saved these files into a folder titled Temp Video. So we'll open that and you'll see that I have 4 files here that I wish to transfer to the editor. So just gather those together, click open, and there we are, the 4 files we need to create this short video ready for use. You'll see below track 5, 4, 3, and there's also 2 and 1. You can consider these to be a multi-track recorder because that's exactly what it is. And it's very powerful. We'll only see a very few of the effects available in this package, and I'd certainly encourage you to play with this editor and you'll be amazed at the quality of the videos that you can produce. Let's start off with the title. Here is the title, so I'm going to click on that. Title, you have many different title formats to choose from. I'm going for a very simple one. I'm going to edit my own title in there and we'll call it Terminus. Save that, and then it appears on our working space. I click and drag that. We now see on the right-hand screen, we have our title page. Here, you'll see a timeline. I don't wish to have the title page shown for too long a period, so I'm just going to reduce it by a few seconds. There we are, we now have the title page. The next file I will bring in will be the video file. I notice that I bring it down onto the track below, and that will become clear in a few minutes. Let's just run that. And as you see, we do have some editing to do at the start of the video. There, I'll halt it. It's the snipping tool. Shall apply there, the left click. It's now split the video into 2 sections. Just deactivate the tool for a moment. You also see the left-hand section that we wish to delete is highlighted in red. If I right-click that, I then have the option of removing the red clip. Having removed the red clip, and I wish to drag the video clip so it is consistent with the title page. We now need to edit the end of the video clip. We'll run it through till we find the point at which we wish to stop, which will be about here. Then open the cutting tool again, cut. This time it's the right hand section that we need to delete. Left click, highlights it in red, right click, remove. We now need to add the first of the audio tracks. Let's bring the audio track down and line up. There we are. Now I do know that I need to edit the start of the audio track. That is the point where the diesel starts. So let's take our cutting tool again, snip, switch off the tool. That is the correct section to remove, so right click, remove tool, and slide the audio in. The audio track is far too long for our purposes, so we'll just use the cursor to highlight. The cursor is now in place. Let's open up the cutting tool. Turn off the tool. We will highlight the section to be removed. Right click, removed, and it disappears. The final track, another audio track, is the horn of the diesel, and we'll just leave it there. Let's just check back. We have the title page, we have the video, we have the audio. Let's put in a final end title. End title, go with the same format. End. Save that. It's the end title. Bring that down to there. Now, there's only one file that we need to bring in, and that is the transparent diesel cab. Slot it in there. And immediately on the viewing pane, you can see that the diesel cab is in place and the video is showing beneath it. That is the reason why the transparency needs to be on the top track. Let's give that a quick run through. And that's it for the basics. Don't be concerned about the jerkiness of the sound. It tends to do that in the editing mode, but it will be perfectly clear once the finished file has been exported. And finally, all we have to do is export the video, and we do this by clicking here. This will give you the options of changing the file name and also changing the location that you will be saving the video in. As you can see, it's recorded in MP4 and in high quality. What we do is click Export Video, and we will soon have the video complete. There we go. Now we can take a quick look at the finished item.